Hi guys. You may notice I am home. I am not in St. Louis. And the reason is simple. I got pulled very short notice from my team training. Long story short, they don't have a dog for me that will work. And they do not have a setup for me walking the dog that I can use. So I'm just kind of stuck right now. They essentially pulled me yesterday and they're like, this isn't working. The placement's gonna fail within 3 to 6 months. And we need to do something else. So, and I was like so upset yesterday. I was like, there's no way I can do a vlog like this. I need to decompress. I need to just go home. And and I went straight to my parents' house when we came home because I seriously could not come straight here. I didn't have any of the dog stuff set up, so it wasn't like, it would have been a reminder of what I didn't have at that point. So the good news is, one, I am still on the waiting list. They have not kicked me out of the program. I am still on the waiting list. It's just they don't have what I need, so they need more time. Two, I am going back to St. Louis when the weather is going to be nicer. I won't be hauling all my winter stuff and a lot of other stuff. So those are the two things that are kind of in my favor right now. That's kind of the silver lining. And so I actually have a lot of work to do. I have to get my lift installed, which I am working on. I touched base with the guy that's been helping me, and he's like, I'm working on it. Two, I have to have my surgery done because they want to train the dog with me strictly from my wheelchair. I will not be on the floor anymore by the time I have the dog. So that's how they want to train it. And so I have to have the surgery. And they're like, keep us in the loop. Let us know when the lift is installed. Let us know when your surgery is scheduled, and we'll find a dog and start training it. And then you can come back down. And then on the flip side, Mom's like, okay, if you need to work on your command sequence, you can practice on Trip, which makes total sense because his obedience skills are iffy. And so I'm gonna work on the on obedience command. He's obviously not gonna know a kennel command or anything like that. I mean, he does go in a kennel, but we don't use a command for that. So I'm just gonna work on like basic obedience with him, and we're gonna try to do a hookup, a leash hookup that may or may not work, but Nadine is working on a leash hookup. That's one of the things that she was gonna do. Since I'm gonna need a specialty leash system, that's one of the things she's going to do. I may be like the only person in the team training next year with a specialty leash system. Just because of that, I only use one hand and I need my leash on the opposite side. So I mean, those were two things working against me that they didn't have. I need the dog very close to me. So anything I do with the dog is gonna have to be on my lap, which is why, I don't know why they didn't do that first. And I don't think they automatically teach their dogs rise, which is the command for them to put their paws in your lap. PGI does that. That's like their standard, one of their standard commands. Duo doesn't do that for everybody. So I need a rise command so the dog is close to me. It was kind of funny because Sully, the dog I was working with, she actually, when I told her to come, they're like, be excited about it. And so I told her to come, waving my arms and whatever, and she put her paws up on my lap and licked my face, which technically she's all the dogs during our training sessions, they licked us. I mean, they were little licks, but it's still a dog thing. And technically they're not supposed to do that. But she put her paws up on my lap when I told her to come, and she was all excited. But we need a controlled paws on lap so I can reach the dog and do checks and put its equipment on and all that. So I have to do that. So essentially, while Nadine is getting her ducks in a row for like getting the equipment I need and training the dog that I need, Trip is going to be my guinea pig, and I'm going to practice that stinking command sequence until I can say it in my sleep. It's really simple, but the thing I'm forgetting is to motivate the dog, because if you don't motivate the dog, they don't do diddly squat. Good girl, good boy. I remember to praise them, but I don't remember to motivate them. And you will hear me say this for the next few months, because that is my reminder to myself to remember to praise the dog. Always praise the dog. They are good dogs. Motivate the dog and praise the dog. And I am dropping the motivation. I can do a correction. I can do everything else they want me to do that the information the dog needs. But I'm forgetting to motivate the dog, and I'm having the dog has to do stuff for me that they need motivation for. The dog needs to be on the one side. And so, yes, that's really, 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 really important. So I will be working on that. And the cool thing about Duo is they are keeping me in the loop. The client manager, who is as awesome as I thought she was in her emails, she was like, we'll keep you in the loop, and when stuff comes up, send us emails. And I'm like, you bet. And Mom's like, as soon as we figure something out and we know what what works for you, we'll send Nadine an email. And trust me, I will do that, because we determined, Mom and I were talking today, and Nadine was like, get a raised food station. And I was talking to Mom when she came over this afternoon. I'm like, I can't do that. Yes, it would work for a wheelchair, and I can do stuff, but I cannot fit the base of it anywhere in this apartment. Anywhere. Where I have seen those raised food stations, they've been for bigger dogs, and they have been in big kitchens. Big kitchens, or kitchens that have slightly more floor space. I do not have enough floor space to have a tall feeding station that's going to take up half or my entire floor of my pantry. I can't do that. And I can't put it by my space that I'm going to put the dog stuff by the window, or I won't be able to close my blinds. I can't do that. So we're going to have a system where I'm like bending down and grabbing stuff from the floor, which I can do. I can pick stuff up from the floor as long as I have something to grab. So, I mean, I'll do it that way. I also have to figure out a leash system or some way that you can hook a leash and do it a different way than they were doing it. The other thing that Nadine said she would teach this dog is voice commands only, which means this dog is not going to be using a leash for a correction, which they were doing. That is primarily how they use the training collars, which is what you're supposed to do. So this dog is going to be strictly verbal, which I can definitely do. I can train and teach a dog verbally, and I can do that. I just have to, they just have to fine-tune the heck out of things. And this dog has to know how I roll inside and out and walk with a wheelchair the way I drive, which most service dogs will not do. I've had one dog, technically two. Zoe walked pretty well with it if she wasn't freaked out, which she was 90% of the time, but I've had two dogs. They've been able to walk with my wheelchair, no problem. They never got nicked. If they did get nicked, it wasn't a problem. Most of the time. I've nicked both Diesel and Zoe, and usually they were fine. I even hit Trip when he was about 7 weeks old, and he doesn't hate me. He's not scared of my wheelchair. He doesn't hate me. So I'm fine. And I have a system. We have things we can work on. I'm still kind of decompressing. I'm not even going to look at my training stuff this week, for the rest of this week. I might not even look at it until after the holidays because I got so much stuff in my head right now. If I'm trying to run the command sequence every stinking day, unless I am working with Trip specifically, I'm not even going to look at it, because if I try to do stuff, it's going to stress me out and I'm going to get too wound up. And my mom said, you control your emotions, you control your stress. And Nadine was specific about that. She's like, don't be emotional. And it's not that I was emotional. At least I don't try to be when I'm working with a dog. I was stressed out. So just because of the rigors of the training, I have to be confident enough 100% of the time that's not going to matter. So the dog is working for me and stuff is fine. So, and this video is already getting very long. So I will likely see you guys in the next one, and I will be posting little videos here and there in the next few months of what I'm actually doing to show you what I'm going to be doing to take care of this dog with the new system we're going to be doing. And I will elaborate on that in a future video. So until next time, this is Service Dog Diaries signing off.